First of all, any walking wounded from Tuesday, James?
Just tired legs and tired bodies. So that'll be it. So I'm not going to say anybody's touch and go. It's just the usual niggles after a performance we put in when we've got Lewis Collins's running stats were astronomical. I haven't seen anything like it with the data that he's collected. So we have to monitor loads and training programs this week off the back of it. But yeah, no real issues to report.
Will you have Dom Telford available?
Yes.
Which gives you a real selection headache, because you talk about Lewis Collins, he got his chance, you want players to take the opportunity. Do you then have to reward them for taking it so well?
What will always be the case here, it'll always be about it's a squad effort, a collective. Matty said it in his press after the game, and I've said it constantly as well, about it's a collective effort. So I singled out Lewis for his performance because I felt as though he deserved it. But again, it's about the collective, and it'll always be about the squad.
So does that mean Dom Telford, despite his recent record, which has been, well, he's earned the Player of the Month, which you might want to comment on, but does that mean he's not guaranteed the starting place?
I don't think anybody's guaranteed a starting place. It's always on performance, and the lads know that. So I'm just keen to keep emphasising about it's a squad, it's a collective effort, whether in the 1 to 18 or the 18 to 24 that are not involved. It's everybody's very much part of it.
But you've been given something to think about, haven't you?
Oh, 100%. And I want that, and I want to be able to think about that. I need that, because I think that challenges us and that stretches us and can help move us forward. We need that challenge in the group that gives us our extra drive, our extra edge.
And Dom Telford, as I say, has won the Player of the Month for the second month running. I suppose you would say long may it continue, because he scores goals, he gets awards.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased for him. He deserves it. So long may that continue for him and the team.
He's coming back from COVID. Are there any worries about how quickly he can get back from
that? I don't know the intricacies of it, but from my medical team that I trust implicitly with the work that they do, and that they're first class, both of them. So and the doctor we have at our disposal. So I'm pretty comfortable with whatever we do with Dom on Saturday.
I ask partly because the Premier League sent out a note to their clubs last night, sort of advising them to go back to what it was like, the protocols at the start of the season. Are you looking at your protocols all the time, and are you re-examining now?
Yeah, constantly. But yeah, we have to. I was fortunate that when I worked at Cardiff, we had a gentleman called Lee Southernwood who was very detailed in his approach, and kind of Tom's very much the same in that sense in how he does things. Tom Gittle's our physio. So we'll ensure that we follow the protocols that we need to at the correct times to ensure, first and foremost, the players' safety and the staff.
Yeah, and the staff. Yeah, and I mean, it's society, isn't it? There is an increasing sort of new variant, and clubs have to be on their guard. Look at what's happened at Tottenham.
Yeah, that's part and parcel of life at the minute, and I've kind of got we as society first and foremost, and then our clubs have got to respect it and do what we need to do to make sure everybody's safe.
So are you having to tell your players to just keep social sort of in the community? You're in a bubble yourself effectively, aren't you? What about outside of that?
We kind of just follow the guidelines that are set in place from the government. That's all we continue to do.
Will your players be having a Christmas party?
Oh, we haven't organised anything directly, the club, so whether the lads do have a party or not, that's their prerogative, really.
Yeah, you're not going to tell them not to because some companies are cancelling Christmas parties, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that's down to certain individuals and certain businesses. I think we take our guidance off the government, which is what we do. So we'll continue to do that.
Yeah. Port Vale won the last two. They also had players sent. Well, in fact, they had 2 players sent off against them on Tuesday. What are you expecting?
A tough game. I think they've got a decent away record as well. So that's it. That's first and foremost. That their away record is very good, but our home form also is equally as good. They defend particularly well. They conceded one of the 4th lowest shots in the league. So we're probably one of the highest at the minute as well with ours. So it could be an interesting affair in that sense, in how we work tactically, really, to try and first of all deny, then try to exploit.
But you're on a run yourself. One defeat in the last 11 league games. Going in the right direction?
I hope so, and I hope so. I said to you after the game on Tuesday that we'll take it game by game in what we do. So we'll continue just to focus on Port Vale. Then the next game will be Rochdale.
And we're going to be speaking to Ollie Cooper soon. How would you judge his progress and what he's done since you've arrived?
I can only go off since I've arrived, and I think that he's demonstrated his quality, both with and without the ball. His ability to receive the ball in pockets and between lines and take the ball on the back foot and then penetrate the back line is excellent. And then his work rate in transition to press to win the ball back is very good as well. And ultimately he's a great lad as well. So that helps. He's always willing to learn and ask questions.
Probably needs to add a goal or 2 to his game, would you say?
I think he contributes a lot. I think he might not get the direct assist, but he could get the assist, if that makes sense, where he does a lot for the team that maybe some might not see. But I value him massively, and so do all the staff, and I'm sure all the players do as well.
And I suppose you knew his dad, did you?
Yeah.
Cardiff?
Yeah, I know his dad really well. I spoke to his dad last night, actually. He's back from Malaysia for a bit. So, again, I've known Kev for a long, long time. So, I said to him last night, first and foremost, Ollie's a great lad. And that's credit to him for bringing him up so well. So I can't speak highly enough of the family as well.
I mean, the one thing I remember about his dad, Kev, ultimate professional. Do you see that rubbing off on his son?
Yeah, he's probably double the professional that what Kev was, I'd say, in that sense. So, yeah, he's brilliant. He's first class.
So are you confident Swansea won't ask for him back?
You never know in football, do you? But I'm hoping that all the loan players that we got, that we contribute well to their development, and hopefully that can continue.
Yeah, and just finally, terrific support on Tuesday, and you will hopefully get a few more there on Saturday because you're on a run now.
I hope so, because we need the supporters, like always, to keep getting behind us through the good times and the bad times. They can drive us on. They help us, and it means a lot to me personally, but also means a lot to the staff and the players as well, and everybody associated to the football club, that their support is fundamental for us.
I just forgot to ask, is Kevin coming to the game tomorrow?
I think so, yeah. I think he was at the game on Tuesday, just gone.
Right, brilliant. James, thanks. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks.
Morning, James.
Morning, Chris.
Just in terms of Lewis, what was the data then in terms of what he's?
Well, I've never seen it. He's run 13.8k in a game. I've never seen that in all my time at Cardiff and all my time since I've been here. So that, but not just that, because I think anybody could plod 13.8k, but he's run over 1500 meters of high speed sprint. So, and that's his first game in a long time. So we have to be wary of that because that low can increase, and we have to be conscious of it. But he's done extremely well. So I'm pleased with him. Like a lot of the other lads, they do, I have to say, work extremely hard for the team, and every single one of them really have been superb.
I was going to say, have you seen me running when you talk about plodding? But in terms of, does he with him being young, should he be running that much? I know that sounds critical, but is there a case of he's keen to impress, but should a player be running that much? I don't want to make it sound like being critical of him, but you know what I mean?
Because you might say about working harder or smarter, I don't know, but I'm not thinking into that too much, because I just love his enthusiasm when he's come on. So I'm not going to take his enthusiasm away from him.
No, absolutely not. In terms of data, it comes into that thinking up front as well. Courtney as well. You're always looking at his data, aren't you, because of his injury record as well.
Yeah.
Being careful in this big December, that must come into the selection as well. For
all these things come into the melting pot when we look at what we need to do and how we need to prepare and how we work with the lads. So we're always conscious of that. Yeah.
Just in terms of your sort of style, when chasing the game on Tuesday, there was an element from the stands maybe to get it in the mixer, really push for it and get a move on. How important is the sort of style you're bringing in, sticking to that style, even when maybe more desperate times?
I think when Sutton set up as they did, and obviously it's I could get criticised for saying this, but sometimes it's harder playing against 10 men because they come into that block. They don't really open out, especially when they're holding on to a lead. But when you look at the main bits of data for me is that we've had 30 shots on goal, which against 10 men are relevant, is reasonably high, but we only had 6 shots on target because Sutton have got the highest amount of blocks in the league in this division. So we had to be patient in what we do. But going on to the supporters, I could sense that their frustration that we're kind of not just putting the ball in the box, but we have to try and be methodical in what we do. And I think we've got good players on the pitch to be able to do that. I'm not going to be one of these managers that chuck 5 strikers on the pitch and try and get goals, because our process has worked till this point to a degree, where we've tried to switch play, we've tried to penetrate, we've tried to get in pockets, we've tried to play in behind, we tried to mix it up in the sense of that we have to move the ball. We've got footballers on the pitch, so we'll maintain the ball, we'll keep the ball. And we got the rewards off the back of it on Tuesday night. So there has to be this element of patience to what we do. And I generally believe at present it's showing its rewards because we've got, and I'm not always looking at the points, but it is important that we're averaging 2 points a game in the league since I've come in. So I am pleased with that.
And then that patience comes into almost educating your players in a way as well, because I'm revealing myself here, but Big Dunk's one of my favourite ever players, and the problem what you'd see, and he'd be there and people would naturally go along to him, and you brought on Alex Fisher, and it's saying even though he's a bigger man, don't just go, don't just put it in the box because he's there.
Yeah, the reason why I brought Fish on for that game was that I felt as though myself and Wayne and the staff felt that we were getting into areas and we felt as though we want to put balls in the box, which is what we were doing from wide areas, and they put their centre halves, they went to a back 5. So we felt as though we might need a little bit more aerial presence in the box when we're crossing it, not so much in open play. But again, it's horses for courses, different games. It sometimes I might, like I did at Hartlepool, or we did at Hartlepool, we put Kev on because it felt as though we needed a bit of rough and tumble up front to be able to deal up against their right-sided centre half who was not dominating but caused us a little bit of problem. So at times we'll use different players at different times, and I think that's why I'm paid to do what I'm paid to do. Wayne's paid what he's paid to do, and so is Jared and Jim. So that's our jobs to do that.
One of the other loanies, Jake Kean, he did really well on Tuesday. Obviously, when you first came in, you were playing 4 in midfield, so you could have him, Finn, and Ollie. How hard has it been to leave him out in a way when you've gone to 3-5-2, because he has done well?
It's been extremely hard. I speak to Jake a lot about it, because you can see when he's come on, he's got us a penalty. I think his switches of play, his diagonal balls that he was playing to switch play were key in what we were trying to do. He maintains the ball well. It's just at this moment in time when we play 3 in midfield that Robbie or Ed or it could be Scott play at the bottom of that 3. But I've got no concern in Jake playing the bottom of that either. But also different games will dictate whether we play a back 3 or whether we play a back 4, if you like. So Jake understands the game well enough now that since I came in, he's probably played over 400 minutes of football, where previously that was 55 in the league. So I think Jake knows what I think of him along with a lot of the other lads.
It's the importance he can make an impact as a sub. It's that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knowing you've got him there to bring on.
Yeah.
It's funny, Port Vale, they are a good side. They've got a clever player himself. Tom Conlon's one of the he's always impressed me when I see him. How wary of him and their other threats are you?
Yeah, like all of them, really. We have to concentrate on the team. We won't just kind of look at just one player. It'll be their collective to see what they can do against us. So we'll prepare for that this morning, and do the best we possibly can for tomorrow.
All good, brilliant. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.